A big warm hello to those that are with us and those that may be listening to this after the fact, because life showed up and you were either unaware that we were offering this brief webinar tonight, or life just showed up and you were unable to attend. Nonetheless, the intention is really just to create a space of awareness around what is it that we know historically in research around caregiving professionals putting themselves pretty far down on the list of priorities when it comes to care and well-being and giving ourselves permission to invest time, energy, and money in us. So that's a bit of the conversation. And then the other part of the conversation was just a little bit about the logistics of the Wild Sun Veterinary Wellness Retreats themselves. So with that, what I'm going to do, I put together just a really small slide deck that I thought might help to just give some structure to the conversation. Jamie and Sandra, who are here with us in person, in live, if you will, if at any point you want to interrupt and put something in a Q&A to ask a question, please do. I mean for this to be quite informal. If you have a question or if there's something you want to offer, especially from your own lived experience about things that might get in your own way, or if you have some strategy that you would like to share, that's also awesome. So give me a moment then to go ahead and find the screen that I would like to share with you. All right. So really what I know is true for myself and for so many veterinary colleagues, that the idea of veterinary wellness is still a fairly young conversation. It's really not really any older than 2015 or so that we started to have some language around the things that we have been experiencing as veterinary caregiving professionals for quite a long time. So language such as moral distress, compassion fatigue, secondary traumatic stress, burnout were things that have been out there and known in other fields of caregiving, particularly human medicine, but new to us. And as we go forward, then there was more of a bigger conversation as well about how much time and energy are we investing ourselves, but also as a community and as an industry in us, and sustainably so that we can do this amazing, beautiful, and fulfilling work that we do in a sustainable way. So today it was really just meant to come together and have a little bit of a chat about this. Really quickly, for me, I'm Dr. Sonia Olson. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a long-term emergency veterinarian that focused primarily on companion animal exotics, but I have a real heart around conservation medicine as well. That's where I started. And today, I've shifted and pivoted a number of times. Along the way, I certainly was very keen to try to take care of my health and my stress as a group fitness instructor, as a yoga instructor, as a meditation teacher and practitioner. So those were things that I was doing to help to fortify myself, but they weren't enough in the face of doing the work that I was doing. And I found myself in a state of clinical burnout requiring a professional pivot. The things that I found myself moving towards, though, because I was passionate about it and had strengths in, was around health and wellness for us as a veterinary community. So that's what I'm focusing on 100%. I speak, I write, I mentor, I coach. I'm excited to be hosting these retreats with Wild Sun. And these are just some fun images from me living in the Pacific Northwest, which is just a gorgeous place to be spending time outdoors. So true, isn't it? That clarity is power. That for us as very highly intellectual, curious beings, then, in this field that we are, it's very engaging. And there is a sense of relief when we can have some awareness and then we can name it and then we see a path. So moving from scared kitty to like, oh no, what's coming to, oh, this is what this is. I have some sense of this. I even have some experience and strengths to bring to it. And I feel like I'm in a supportive community, and that then offers me the opportunity to move into places of fortification of my toolbox around skills. The first step, though, is around compassion. We give compassion away every day. It is what we do in veterinary medicine. It's challenging for us to turn that lens towards ourselves. And we know that compassion is something that is a rejuvenating engine. That term of compassion fatigue is a bit of a misnomer. The reality is that what we have been talking about largely as compassion fatigue is actually empathic strain. It's our empathy that fatigues, and it's compassion that recharges us. So, neurobiologically, what's happening is empathy is strained and compassion is the balm. And it starts also with the self compassion for ourselves. There are three key elements to bring into the space of the self-compassion conversation. Dr. Kristen Neff is the world-renowned writer, speaker, researcher on self-compassion. Yep, there is such a thing. And she would say the three pieces are, the first starts with self-kindness, that we offer ourselves the same kindness and generosity of heart and spirit that we offer so selflessly and kindly to others, that we turn that in towards ourselves. The common humanity lens that we are not alone in going through a life that involves both joyous and beautiful moments, but also suffering. And with that, there is community, there is compassion amongst others, and strategies that we can help support each other with. And the third is mindfulness. And mindfulness in the sense of bringing a non judgmental attention to what is in this present moment. That is mindfulness. There's lots of different flavors and offshoots of mindfulness. But with mindfulness, what it's offering in this space of compassion is being in a place of right now, it's like this. So there's just an easing around the striving for it to be different or to control, because a lot of energy is wasted in that way. So it's a bit about acceptance and awareness. And it doesn't mean that we have to say that for ourselves or for others, when we witness or we experience suffering, that it doesn't matter. That's not what we're saying. We're simply acknowledging it's here and it will not last. That's the other part of impermanence that goes with mindfulness. Boundaries. So I'm bringing this up here, and this is actually one of the conversations we dig into at the retreat, because it's so valuable for us to be able to have moments of genuine care for ourselves, for our lives, the things that matter. Boundaries need to be present. They need to be there for us to have a vision and to create the spaces, the time, the energy for us to live a fulfilling life. Having boundaries means that we are better able to allocate our time and energy and not say yes to things that really don't suit and serve and align with us. We may say yes out of guilt, out of pressure, all sorts of reasons. Come back, come back. So promote and protect our well-being. Really, that's our responsibility to promote and protect it. It helps us to fortify our hardiness and resiliency in the face of just inevitable challenges of life at work and out in the world. And it's how we also have the opportunity to have intentionality and less resentment and exhaustion. And so we're better able to engage with our communities, with our work, and the things that are meaningful to us in the world. And lastly, it determines what we have control over and where we have responsibility. That's largely us. There's so much that we do not have control over. We have control over this. So it's really a meaningful space for us to explore what gets in the way, how can we get better at it, and so that we have the benefits of clarifying and speaking and holding boundaries. So why do we have such issue with it if we know it's important? Part of it is the foundational mindset that we may need to adjust and shift around I deserve, I am worthy of, versus giving away our time, our energy, so much so to other spaces. There's cultural conditioning around the idea of self-care. The communication delivery and receivership, sometimes it's just the language, not having awareness of what phrasing or negotiation skills so that you feel more capable of asking questions rather than saying an immediate yes or no. Knowing that this is one of those spaces that does take time. It really does, giving yourself compassion and being patient with yourself as you practice. But practicing will help you fortify and get more comfortable with declaring your boundaries. And it absolutely helps to have some real reflection upon what are your non-negotiables in your life and where are you comfortable building boundaries. Many times, what we need in the moment is just a way to settle our nervous systems and so that we can think clearly and draw those boundaries and speak clearly. But we also could just maybe use a few regulation of stress and anxiety tips and tricks anyway. This is another conversation I bring up separately at the retreat around stressors happen in life. How do we meet those moments with more awareness and skill? These are some of my favorites. So I just thought I would bring them here to this conversation tonight. So you're taking something away in your little souvenir bag. There are two really good sized buckets. These are just some samples of practices within each that I thought I'd bring towards you. So, grounding techniques when you're feeling buzzy, when you're feeling that you are reacting rather than responding, and you could use a moment to literally come back into your senses. Maybe it's putting your feet and really feeling them on the floor. Maybe it's using your senses to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things I can touch, etc. And the stop exercise is literally stop what you're doing. Take 3 really intentional, deep belly breaths. O is to observe your senses, your predominant emotions, even your thinking patterns. And then proceed with a bit more awareness and intentionality and less reaction. I also really love bringing forward the fact that you have a polyvagal nervous system that's waiting for you to discover it and use the wisdom of it. There are some really fantastic and available techniques. It's the dorsal nerve 10 that just runs all through your face, through your throat, through your chest, around your heart, through your diaphragm, and into your belly. So these are just a few of the ones that I would bring towards you. I particularly like the physiologic side because we do it all the time anyway. And so what that is that taking a deep breath in through your nose or two, and then a very long pushing out of your breath using your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm. In the moment when something pings you that you read or that you hear, you'll catch yourself doing this. Now that I've said that, you'll catch yourself as well as others doing it. It's how we reset our nervous system and call in the parasympathetic nervous system. We can do it on purpose. So the physiologic sigh, doing that 3 to 5 times, or humming or singing to vibrate the nerves in your throat, or choosing a breath pattern that prolongs the out breath in ratio to the in breath, all of that stimulates the vagus nerve, calling in your parasympathetic nervous system. Try it. Try these things on. They're easy, they're available because what it's asking you to do is to use your body and your breath, which is free, and you have it with you. So I invite you to give it a try. Before I proceed, I'm going to take a moment to pause and take a breath and see how this is landing with you. Has anybody tried these techniques, or do you have one that you would like to add? If you so, you can come off mute and speak up, and if not, I will proceed. Okay. Just want to give a chance for somebody else to chime in. So I'm going to move forward. Now, I want to take a few moments to talk a bit more about this retreat. The retreat came into being several years ago through a wonderful veterinary friend who lives in Kabuya. She's originally from Canada as well. She practiced holistic medicine up there, actually, I think near London, Ontario. So she now lives with her husband in Kabuya. She is doing acupuncture for humans and animals there. She also got to know the team, the veterinary team at Wild Sun Veterinary. They do the sanctuary work, but they also have a veterinary medical training program for wildlife medicine. And together they saw the opportunity to collaborate and bring attention, awareness, and resources towards the work that was being done at the sanctuary, as well as creating a beautiful space for healing and non-clinical wellness CE that is RACE certified for veterinary professionals. So we started this about 3 years ago, and each year we've had different coaches, veterinary instructors coming in and trying on different approaches. We have found that we really appreciate being on the Wild Sun premises and so that we can have the benefit of their beautiful lodging, their beautiful food, and the yoga pavilion, which we use for morning yoga, but we also use it as a classroom. So, depending on the weather, we may be in there or we might be in another environment on the property. So, the dates for this coming season for my particular retreat is from March 1st through 7. They're in Kabuya. And I intentionally included the scarlet macaws because Wild Sun Sanctuary has been very, very active with a few other local wildlife groups in a scarlet macaw captive breeding program and release. And because of them and their work, there are over 200 breeding pairs now nesting and flying on the peninsula again, where they were quiet because of the pet trade. Yay. So, as I mentioned, I have a real passion around conservation. So, really bringing resources and awareness towards the work that's being done around wildlife medicine and conservation is really meaningful to me, as I also help to take care of the veterinary people that benefit from these retreats. So, the content that I bring as a veterinarian with a lived experience of emergency medicine and having navigated burnout, I have personally spent a lot of time developing additional skills, education, certifications around stress navigation, understanding our nervous systems, neuroplasticity, understanding burnout, understanding mindfulness, and all the different buckets of practice to help fortify and optimize our capacities. And I bring that forward in a variety of different talks and opportunities to build your toolboxes to practice in situ. And so the whole journey is that during the course of the week, we're getting language to name what we're experiencing. We have conversations where we are getting the opportunity to normalize, decrease the stigma, decrease the isolation that typically happens around these challenges, increase the sense of compassion, self and other, and capacities and confidence around our abilities to navigate the stressors of work and life. Creating a strategic sustainability plan is where we're headed all throughout the course of the week. So, for some of you, you may have already visited the website and had the opportunity to see a little bit about what you can expect. It's, as I mentioned, on the private campus of the Wild Sun team. So, you're going to hear the jungle sounds of the howler monkeys and of the scarlet macaws nearby, which is pretty amazing. Each morning, there's the opportunity to do yoga, followed by a great group breakfast. And then we have morning continuing education, group lunch. And then in the afternoon, we have the opportunity to do field trips and do things that we want to do. Or you could do nothing. You could just hang out by the pool and rest. There's opportunities to go outside of the retreat afterwards or before to support some other animal care and ecological projects. Wild Sun can help you set that up. And throughout the course of it, it's intended to be in a style and a pace that really allows you to go at a pace that does feel fortifying and not too rushed. So, our idea around it, especially mine, is that it really is soothing to your nervous system and that we're not trying to cram too much into any one day. The pricing, we've spent months this year, particularly, really going line item by line item, really understanding what everything costs. And so that we were very strategic in coming to these numbers. So we really are very aware of what each thing, food, accommodations, resources of the yoga instructor, resources of the people that are on the property, me as the instructor, et cetera, the race certification that goes with the CE. We really took time to really go thoroughly through it. What we landed on are these following numbers. And so you have the choice. If you're coming by yourself, it might be a single occupancy, but you have the opportunity also, to, if you have somebody that comes with you, to have a guest or have it be a double occupancy. So there's lots of great conversations around this. If you have questions, all you need to do is to go on the website and communicate with Emily, who will absolutely be there to answer any questions that you have. So to wrap this up, I wanted just to make sure again that you have the information that you need, that here is the QR code that takes you directly to the website. And so that if you're curious, you can go in there and learn a little bit more about Wild Sun. you can learn a little bit more about me and about the retreat and the logistics. I would say that it's important because it is important to my heart for folks to know that 75% or so of the monies that are being asked of our registrants go to Wild Sun. It goes to the animal care, it goes to the running of their facility, and the remainder of it really goes into facilitating the resources of people, including me, that are going to be there to support a really great experience. So, with that, I am going to take a moment then to stop sharing unless anybody feels like they need another moment with this slide. Please say so. And if not, I will stop the sharing and come back to you. Okay. So I'd love to know, if you don't mind, I'd love to hear from you. To number one, make sure you're still there with me. Number two, do you have any questions or is there anything that I said that particularly landed with you?